Holy Mother of God. What was that? I just spent an hour and 30 minutes watching a train wreck. I'm a sadist. I'm a masochist. I'm so sorry to all the people who spend money watching this cinematic malarkey. Who thought that this movie was a good idea? Was it you? Come here. I slapped the taste out of your mouth. This is the most ChatGPT lazy horror movie that I've seen in a long time. Okay, first of all, the acting. I've seen better acting chops on Coco the Gorilla, R.I.P. Coco the Gorilla can't even speak English. She does hand signs, for fuck's sake. She does a better job acting than some of the people in this movie. You could have had, and I'm being serious, even my coughing fit's coming out. You could have had Stephen Hawking, Coco the Gorilla, Charles Manson, Beetlejuice, and Amy Schumer. Okay, I'm giving a little bit, maybe too much credit to Amy Schumer. But those four people could have done a better job acting than these guys. The acting in this movie is the 9th layer of Dante's Inferno. I don't even care if I have to add extra layers. We're going to add extra layers. Make it the 13th layer. It goes even deeper than what Dante was saying. The acting is horrendous. The plot is some ChatGPT lazy shit. Okay? A lot of people have a problem with the ChatGPT slander about scripts. And then they watch this movie and they go, God fuck. They go, shit. They got no defense against this. The producers and writers of this movie, you got a court date. I set it up for you. September 15th, 2024. You got to go there. Otherwise, you're getting locked up for 6 years. That's what you need after making this movie. And a lot of you might be going, oh, BD, you don't even got an intro. This movie don't got an intro. This movie don't got an intro. It don't got a middle. It don't got an ending. It's one of the laziest things ever. Bitch, you think I'm going to spend time watching and putting in time for an intro? This movie didn't care. Why should I give a fuck? And I did it for y'all. I did it for you. So if you don't subscribe, if you don't hit that like button, I might have to do a tarot card reading on you, and it's going to be some fucked up shit. So hit that right now, because we're about to talk about this movie. Holy cow. This came out in 2024. Shame on you guys. You have all these examples of great horror movies. You have all these examples of great horror media, books and everything. TV shows. You could have taken some inspiration. You could have done something good. Man, this movie is horrible. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. But that's like saying, that's not the worst injury I've had. To a war veteran. A war veteran who got hit with grenades, who got hit with bullets, who got his leg amputated, blown off. And then he's talking about the time that he got stabbed 3 times in the abdomen. He's like, well, that's not the worst injury I ever had. I got my leg blown off by, an IED. So that's the worst. This ain't the worst. You got stabbed 3 times in the abdomen, my guy. It's still pretty horrible. And I bet you it was probably one of the worst pains you ever dealt with in that moment. That's how I feel right now. All right. Let me calm down and be coherent for this review. Let's talk about this movie. What little there is to talk about the plot in this movie. And then I'll say my piece. This movie is about these group of college kids who are out on this road trip out in the woods. They're like by a campfire or something, and they're drinking, they're interacting, quotes, and then they end up going back into like this house that they're renting or whatever. It's a lazy plot. They don't explain it. They go back into this house that they're in, and then all of a sudden, oh no, there's no beer. So they got to go find beer, got to go find some alcohol, party hard, dude. And they decide to go down to like different compartments in the house, and they go down into the basement. And the basement or whatever in this place is filled with all these old relic objects that are like these horoscope astrology objects. They all look creepy as hell. And then there's this box which turns out to be a box of tarot cards that's laying on a shelf. And it's got the zodiac wheel on it, which also looks like the damn pentagram. And the main girl in the group, I forget her name, I don't care. Fodder, I don't care. She knows how to do tarot, so they decide as a good game of charades for tonight that they can do a tarot card reading and she can do it for them. She opens up the box which has a zodiac wheel / pentagram on it. And she sees that all the cards are filled with these horrific monsters. It's these horrific looking demons. They're all hand drawn, which is, there's a lot of red flags. That's as red of a flag as this. It's hand drawn, and it's all these demons and monsters and stuff. Very creepy, but of course, they don't give a fuck. They do it anyway. So she decides to do a tarot card reading. She sees some pretty iffy things in everybody's future that's in this friend group. And then as they leave this camping trip or whatever to go back to their college dorms, all of a sudden they start getting picked off by some entity. Something out there starts killing these kids, and they have to figure out a way to solve it. And they may uncover the mystery that box of tarot cards with the weird symbols and weird drawings may have an origin to maybe some dark witchcraft, and that in the past some bad things happened that have now caused a cursed object to be passed around and result in people being killed, and they have to find a way to solve it. That's about as much coherent plot as I can give. There's nothing more than that. Let's talk about this movie. The acting in this movie. Holy shit, man. These are some of the worst college kids actors I've ever seen. It was some of the worst, most useless acting attempts I've ever watched. I mean, I can't list off all the trash dialogue and interaction scenes, but there's a handful. There's a handful out there. And I don't even mind the background noise with one of my family members trying to prepare some food. The background noise don't matter. This video's already shit. You guys can listen to that in the background for all I care. But basically, the acting in here is horrible. There is the guy who plays Ned. What is it? Jacob Batalon? I don't know your name, dude. He plays Ned from the MCU Spider-Man movies. He's the worst one in here. How do you go from MCU Spider-Man to this bullshit? Your career fell off, my guy. I don't know how you could end up in this. I heard some sus things about some roles you've been in. This ain't good, bruh. He's the most annoying piece of shit in this movie. He's got so much shit dialogue. The kids in the friend group start getting killed off. And then they're in this, like, I guess, room to kind of plan what they're supposed to do. They're all, like, in shock. I say in shock because they can't fucking act. They can't act like they're in shock. And he starts saying, well, the killer might actually be in the room with us. Guys, I listen to podcasts. I listen to true crime podcasts. It's always the killer having a relation to one of the victims. And then the other guy in the group who can't act, he's the ex-boyfriend of the main girl who does the tarot card readings. He's like, you know what? You actually got a point in one of the most stupid ways possible. Are you guys laughing yet? He's like, oh yeah, I listen to all these podcast episodes, and there's always true crime. And then they're like, okay, you're being a dick, man. You're being a dick. Stop being so weird. And he's like, I can't help it. I'm a Taurus. Taurus are dicks, right? You read it in my tarot cards. What? They're like in the middle of a car ride going back to the location where the cards were, and they do this as a way to sort of solve the mystery and potentially stop these evil entities that are coming after them. And in the car ride, fucking Ned, and I'm going to call him Ned. I don't know his character's name. I'm going to call him Ned from Spider-Man, bitch. Ned out there is like, David Beckham is a Taurus, and The Rock is a Taurus. Oh boy, G. Willikers. It's like, okay, dude, what? And like there's a scene where they're doing the tarot card reading in the beginning, and they're all doing their own tarot card stuff, and they can't act. They're all like over the top, you know, classic. Hey man, we're hip teens, man. Do we look hip, man? I think teenagers talk like this, man. And it's like, oh Jesus Christ, dude, fucking most cringe ass dial. The most out of tune writers and producers are like, this is what college kids must sound like. And coming from a college kid, go fuck yourself. Literally, they're out there doing the tarot card reading, and then Ned is on like the couch, and he's just sitting back, you know, he's laid back and shit, and he's like, all right guys, I'm ready to go to the bathroom. And they're like, oh Ned, boo, that wasn't funny, boo, not funny. And then literally while I'm watching that scene, I literally had the same reaction as Ned. I'm like, well, I'm ready to go to the bathroom and blow my guts out with how bad this script is. Holy fuck, man. Terrible dialogue. The guy who's the ex-boyfriend of the girl who does the tarot card readings, you suck as an actor, dude. No offense, but fuck you. You did a terrible job acting. There will be scenes where they're supposed to be grieving over the loss of somebody who died, and he'll be sitting there going, like, the main girl's like, I can't believe that she died. I'm in shock right now. And he's like, yeah, I think we're all in shock. And he just stares at her for 10 seconds. Dude, you seriously? There's a part of this movie where the mystery gets revealed, and coincidentally, oh my god, the box of tarot cards with the pentagram and demonic images on it, as if that could never have anything wrong happen in a horror movie. Those cards somehow correlate to people dying in the exact way that the tarot card readings happened, as if that's not a red flag either. People start dying according to what the tarot card readings were from this cursed box, and literally after the whole mystery is revealed and they meet a person who has ties to victims who possibly got killed by this box of tarot cards, this guy, the ex-boyfriend dude, goes, oh, you guys don't seriously believe in that crap. Were you not listening to the past 8 minutes of exposition dump that this movie gave you? I mean, this movie is so fucking lazy that it can't even flesh out stuff. It has to cut scene to scene. It has to bounce back and forth. And it gives you like a 9-10 minute exposition dump, which, oh my god, the mystery is revealed. They revealed the mystery halfway into the movie. What's the point of the mystery? You exposition dumped us. You didn't even build it up. You didn't even integrate it into the story. No, you just fucking dumped it at us like I'm on top of fucking American Airlines waiting for them to finish this fucking, safety procedure. Make sure you tuck in your seatbelts. Make sure you put your head back. And if this plane starts to crash, spray and pray as we jump out with the parachutes. I heard this shit before. And the exposition dump in this movie is that type of, fucking, you heard this shit before. And he's like, you guys don't believe this crap, do you? Shut the fuck up. Were you listening with your ears closed? Were you listening with fucking earplugs? Were you listening to Spotify while this shit happened? Jesus Christ, man. There's a bunch of other shit dialogue in here. Like, there's a point where him and his ex are trying to, they're in a life or death situation in the climax in the movie. And the life or death situation is happening, and they're basically, a lot of their friends assumably get killed. And they're sitting there, and he goes, yeah, I heard Aquarius are pretty headstrong, so I should have expected this out of you. And the main girl goes, have you been reading up on astrology? And he goes, they say that Leos and Aquariuses are unstoppable couples. Are you not in the climax of the movie? Are your lives not at stake? What is this dialogue? The demons, there are demons in here. The demons are killing off people that are close to you. I'm going to emphasize this, close. It's people that are close to them, despite the fact that every time somebody dies, the characters act like they don't give a fuck. Almost like me with the movie. Ding. They are in the middle of this life or death situation. And they're fucking talking to each other and joking with each other as if nothing's happening. And by the end of the movie, magically, some character that was supposed to die, who died off screen, comes back miraculously. The power of plot armor and the power of me being the most well-known actor, and therefore I can't die. It's in the contract. This person comes back, and then they're like, what happened to Paige? And, the two of the characters are like, and he's like, get in the car. Let's get out of here. You didn't give a fuck. You didn't give two shits that your best friend died. You were smiling, bitch. Did you kill her? Did you kill her? I half expected him to be strangling the bitch. Your best friend, one of your best friends dies, and that's how you react. I can't imagine anybody having a loved one or best friend dying and you being like, what happened to Billy? And they're like, and you just sit there and go, get in the car, you rascals. Spencer Cohen, Anna Hallberg, both of you. And I hope that shit leaves a mark. The kills in this movie involving the monsters, because of course these tarot cards have these hand-drawn demon monster things in there, these demons. So of course you automatically predict as easily as you can, okay, these monster demon things are going to target each of the kids according to their tarot card reading. Doesn't take a high-level IQ to figure that out. And the kills in this movie are really fucking stupid. The first one involves an attic and a ladder. This girl goes up this ladder into this attic. lights start flickering, then the light turns off, and then all of a sudden she gets back up, and there's all these like thousands of candles laid out, and the walls are turned into like upside down crosses and stuff, which I thought was like, all right, that's okay. And then the demon all of a sudden pops out and does peekaboo jump scare. And each time some of the demons are shown in this movie, the different demons that are there, they're shown for like half a second and then it's gone. So obviously they go peekaboo, and then the girl falls back, falls down, hurts her back or whatever. And then the demon, again, because they don't have the budget to show this CGI demon for more than like 10 seconds on screen at a time, they just keep showing brief flashes of the demon, and it picks up the ladder, and then it starts hammering her back with the attic ladder. And she's not screaming in pain. She's not getting her back broken. She's not like bleeding out of her mouth and gushing out and coughing up blood and really suffering and dying. No, she's just going, I was like, dude, is she getting crushed to death? Or is she at the chiropractor? Because she looked like she was into that shit. I thought this demon was giving her a chiropractic massage. I thought he was giving her a physical massage. I mean, she wasn't even like breaking any, like there wasn't even any pain. There wasn't even any yelling. It was just, she looked like she enjoyed that shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then eventually there is blood, but then it's all off screen. You don't actually see any violence or gore. The next kill in the movie involves a train, and of course this guy's wandering down, and it's just like lights turning off and ominous darkness showing up, and then it gets into this abandoned train cart with this demon. The demon's literally at the end of there, and the guy, instead of what I would do, which is hauling ass and running away, no, he sits down in the train cart as if he's waiting for the conductor to come and stamp his ticket, and then all of a sudden he gets up, starts looking, and then starts walking towards it. I'm like, this man has zero danger level. Who does this man think he is? He thinks he's Captain America? You're not Captain America, bitch. You're not the Ghostbusters, bitch. You're not the priest, bitch. How are you supposed to deal with this shit? And then, of course, he gets jump scared, and then the kill involves, again, peekaboo, jump scare, and then all of a sudden, character falls back and then gets hit by a train. Oh, big whoop. Woo, boo. And then the demon that he gets targeted by is, again, not even shown. You barely even see its face. You barely even see its design. You just see its face for like half a second, and that's all the jump scares. Just 5-second brief jump scares. There's one decent kill scene involving a bridge and a hanging, which I thought was pretty cool because obviously, they're in an electric vehicle, a modern car, and the radar starts going off that something's hitting and moving around the car. But again, you don't see the demon, and one of the stupidest things, the character who gets targeted in this kill, on the window pane that's like fogged up by the mist, it's like a drawing of a hangman, and then it writes like the letters and it says run, which I thought was cool. That's a little fun gimmick. But then the character gets out of the car and runs. If the demon is telling you to run, why would you do what the demon says? Logic is out the window. You do exactly what the demon said. I half expected this thing to tell her to get into the rope and then pull it slack, pull it tight. And she would have done it. She would have done it if it was written on that window. Really stupid. And then, of course, it's very predictable. You don't see the monster really that much. It's got some cool movement scenes, but you don't really see it. There's one off-screen kill involving this clown, this evil jester. And I like the stuff involving that elevator scene, but it's an off-screen kill. And it turns out into the biggest plot armor gag by the end of the movie. And there's a magician kill scene that I thought was pretty fun, pretty okay. But a lot of it is just flash forward, jump cut camera work. You don't actually see this person potentially being sawed in half. And yeah, it's what this movie has that problems. It has acting problems. People die in this movie and the kids don't know how to act. These college kids all are like the most uncaring people ever. People die and they'll just be like, well, shucks, let's move on. And then there's stupid scenes. Like there's one scene where they're trying to figure out the mystery to this whatever thing going on with the tarot cards. And then it's Ned and another girl who goes up to the computer, and then she types in, she's like, what's your password? And he's like, my password is password. She's like, great. And then she types it fast, and then his screensaver is him smoking a blunt as if he's like hot and shit. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. There's some real goofy, stupid ass shit in this movie. And there's so much cringy dialogue and stuff that I didn't even bring up or talk about. There's a scene in a bathtub where the one girl's like, don't call me wifey. And then her girl's like, girl. And the plot's all over the place. The pacing on this movie is insane. Again, I told you there's a giant exposition dump. This movie felt so fast to go through because it doesn't actually linger and build up tension and depth. No, it just speeds through a bunch of the different scenes as if it's a slideshow. It's as if you're in a college presentation and you got 20 minutes to present and you know one of your group members is taking longer on like 3 slides, so you got to hurry your shit up and be like, oh, come on, bro, hurry up. That's what the movie's like. It's one of the most lazy, one of the most chat GPT predictable, stupid plots I've ever seen. One of the most lazy attempts at a modern horror movie, and it doesn't even give a fuck. That's Tarot 2024. This movie gets a 3 out of 10. Not even going to talk about the kumbaya, everything works out in the end, ending. And the movie ends off with the line, and I'm going to just tell you the line. It's one of the worst. It's one of the most kick you in the balls endings to a movie. It's the characters that are remaining driving away. And one of the characters, of course, can't act, goes, hey guys, we really defeated fate. And then the main character girl goes, fuck fate. And then the movie ends. I'm not joking. That's how the movie ends. I wish I had Hennessy instead of this. Tarot 2024 gets a 3 out of 10. One of the easily the worst modern horror movies ever made. There's no excuse for this piece of shit. And that's all I have for today. Fuck you to the producers and writers. You didn't give a fuck dropping this movie. And I hope everybody that paid money, we all paid money to watch this damn movie. I hope we all get refunded. And in fact, you need to pay my water bill. You owe me money for the fact that I watched this shit. You pay my water bill, bitch. And no, that's not just because I want my water bill paid. But still, that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this rant. I'm exhausted. And yeah, don't go check out this movie. And if you do, go sail the high seas. But hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you found this shit funny or enjoyable. Deuces. I can't keep up this shit, man. I can't keep up this shit. It exhausts me. But at the same time, the fact that I suffered through this, rants are worth it.